right. It's an honor to be back in Trenton. I actually did my internship here, Ewing Residential Treatment Center. And it was funny because when I was coming in just now, I saw the DMV across the street. Upstairs is DIFAS. And that was my externship. So I'm literally sitting across the street from where I did my externship. It wasn't a fun experience or anything. Couldn't stand it. Couldn't wait for it to be over. Internship was very, very discriminatory. Once they went on YouTube and saw who I was, it was over. It got very difficult from that point on. But I look fondly upon the years, even though it was difficult going through it. I learned a lot, got to see a lot. The main site of the internship was the Ewing Residential Treatment Center on Stuyvesant Ave, which was closed about a year after I finished my intern in August of '09. And as I was telling the brother, I'm not surprised they closed it because I really didn't think that they were helping our children. And that's one of the reasons why I want to open up a school for our children. Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy for the boys, and the Anna Douglas and Amy Jackson Ashwood Garvey Academy for the girls. And I want to base my school upon the 6 most critical sciences I think we as a people need to master and our children need to be taught if we as Africans are to make a resurgence into the world. What are those 6 sciences? They include military and political science. What do I mean when I say that? I mean that our children need to learn about all of the tactics and strategies that are used to keep us where we are. So I want them to know that the AIDS virus was created by the United States Army at the bioweapons lab in Fort Detrick, Maryland. They need to know that. I need them to know that the reason why Africa remains as backward as she is because of the World Bank and International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C. that controls the African economies and prevents them from doing what's in the best interest of their people. I want them to know that. Okay, I need them to understand post-traumatic slavery disorder. Okay, and as far as military science goes, I think that our children should be taught to defend their families and communities if any event it becomes necessary. So yes, we will teach them how to shoot. We're also going to teach them how to fly planes. There will be an aviation program where they learn how to fly planes as well as helicopters. Why not? There will be a submarine program, okay, where they learn submarine technology, being able to, exist under the water. I think all that is important. These are the technologies that none of our children get. Okay. Also, there will be financial and economic science. Our children need to be taught about how to use money to make wealth. We don't get that. I have 6 degrees. I've never had a serious class on financial science. Our children need that, not just credit cards and bank accounts, but natural resources and international corporations and that type of a thing. Agricultural and agronomical science, how to grow their own food. Very important, okay? Agriculture is one of the top industries in the world, and food is being used as a weapon against African people. Okay, right now in Africa, what's going on? Monsanto and all the other corporations have partnered with the Council of Foreign Relations. And for those of y'all who don't know, First Lady Michelle Obama is on the board of directors for the Council of Foreign Relations. Okay? And they're partnering with the CFR to force the African nations to buy genetically modified crop. What's wrong with that? Africa's able to produce her own crop, but she can't because they're saying, look, we don't want you to do that. Buy this crop from us, GMO. It only grows once, and it prevents the soil's ability to reproduce again. It erodes the soil, okay? And it causes cancer. Mice that are given GMO crop develop cancer within, 6 months? Okay? We have to teach them dietary and nutritional science, how to eat to live. We have to teach them spiritual science above and beyond Islam and Christianity. Nothing wrong with those religions, okay? But the good thing about African spirituality is you can practice it even if you belong to a religion. Because it's not a religion, it's culture. It's your birthright. You're born into it. You don't have to get baptized into African spirituality. You don't have to take a shahada to practice African spirituality. None of that. No courses or nothing. You're born into it. Okay? Dealing with your living dead, your ancestors. They're with you whether you want to admit it or not. Okay? Now, if you choose not to call on them for extra help, that's your business. Okay? It's interesting, too, because as it relates to relationships, I think we need to go back to an old practice we used to use back in the Bush days before slavery, and that is when a man and a woman met each other. Before they got deep into the relationship, you know what they would do? They would sit down with the priest and the priestesses, and they would get a spiritual reading to determine whether or not those two were in each other's best interest. Before the lovemaking, before the children, before the engagement, before living together. That's what we used to do. So one of the reasons divorce was so low isn't just because they were arranged by the families. Because even in African systems, even though the families helped create the marriages, the children still had a yay or nay vote in it. So if you didn't want it, you didn't have to take it. So the reason why divorce was so low was because we communicated with God and the deities to make sure this person is what's ultimately good for my life destiny. They may have been a good person, and y'all may have had a good marriage, but what they're bringing to the table, as good as they are, may have in some way blocked what your life plan was, your particular old dude. So we used to get a reading to find out whether we should marry these people. We don't do that anymore. Okay? Which brings me to my next science. We're going to teach our children the science of the black family. The science of running a family. There's a whole science to running a family. Most of us just get in it and we just do it the best way we know how. And some of us came from successful families, and so we learn from them and we take their example. But there's a science to keeping a marriage together. And our children need to be taught that. So the black young ladies are going to have to study the black man as a science. They're going to have to know his whole makeup, physically and psychologically. And the black man is going to have to study the black woman. They're going to have to learn her menstrual, her relationship with the moon, her relationship to the water. When to touch her, when not to touch her, when to leave her the hell alone. Teach it! Okay? So that's what we want to do, because sometimes y'all just don't want to be bothered. For nothing, no cookie, no conversation, no nothing. So we got to teach that. Okay? So then we also have, let me see if I left one out. Financial and economic, military and political, diet and nutrition, agriculture, and agronomy, spiritual science, and science of the black family. Those are the 6. Now some of you might say, well, you didn't mention reading, writing, arithmetic, social studies, and science. Why? Because those are required. Even in a private school, you have to teach the 4 basics. So in addition to that, we're going to build upon the 6 sciences. So yes, they will be taught how to read, because they definitely not being taught how to read in public school. And why is that? One of the biggest reasons why our children struggle so much, not just black kids, but white kids too, with reading is because they have traded in phonics for whole language instruction. What's the difference between phonics and whole language? With phonics, the child had to master each phoneme of each letter of the alphabet. So when they was presented with a word that they didn't know, they would be able to successfully decode it because they knew every possible sound combination. Are y'all following me? Problem with that was what? Teacher said, that's taking too much time, it's too much energy, too much effort. It's the best way to do it, but it's not easy for me. So they said, we got a better idea. Why don't we just teach them to memorize the words? And that's what whole language is. So instead of breaking down the encyclopedia, I'm just going to write the encyclopedia on the board and teach you to memorize it. So when your children are reading, you think they're reading the words, and all they're doing are identifying the words from their memory. 75% of the kids in special ed referred for what? Reading problems, because they're not taught how. And Lord knows none of them get taught how to comprehend what they read. Reading comprehension is not taught. Black, white, rich, poor. I test kids from the highest socioeconomic to the lowest. They are not being taught how to understand what they read, so you have to do it at home. And how do you do it? Pull out a newspaper, take a small little article, it can be a paragraph, make them read it, take the paragraph back, and now ask them some questions. They don't know, give them the paragraph again, read it again, ask them some different questions. Never the same question, to build up their memory muscles. That's why the black test scores are lower than the white test scores. It ain't because our kids are less intelligent. Okay, they have weak reading comprehension skills. And remember, all the tests are time limited. You only got 45 minutes to finish that sentence, that section of 15 questions. So if you got to keep going back because you can't remember what you read, you're going to end up with a lower score. And you have to make sure the children read more because they don't have the vocabulary to understand the question. In other words, had I knew what they were asking, I would have got it right. But they used this real big word that I never heard of before, threw me off, and I got a question wrong that I should have got right. There's a whole science to creating tests. And you can design the test to make sure that the color kids don't do as well. It's a science to it, I know. I participated in the standardization of the most popular IQ test we use right now, Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children. I was a part of that team. Wechsler Individual Achievement Test. I was a part of that team. Probably wouldn't have been if they didn't know who I was. Okay? But it's important that we do what? Give our kids the books. Let them read. Make them read. 4 things you benefit from when you read. You learn new vocabulary, new ways of conversating, new ways of writing, and general information, all of which are going to be necessary to do well on the SAT, state assessment, or any other assessment. Very important. So, relationships. I first was asked to speak on this topic. Someone had a radio show. I don't know if it was Blog Talk or the regular radio stations, and they said, well, we need a psychologist to weigh in. And they called me up, and somebody said, well, he's a school psychologist primarily. We don't know if he'll fit. So I had to remind folks, well, you know, my doctorate is in clinical psychology. Okay, so I deal with crazy people too, not just kids who can't learn. Right? And being a child therapist, you inadvertently become a what? Marriage and family therapist. Why? Because if the children are messed up, I have to work with the parents who messed them up. Do y'all see? There's no such thing as a child having depression, suicidality, bipolar, borderline. There's no such thing as being sick, separate from the system, the family unit that created you. Any issue you got, low self-esteem, high self-esteem, emotional disturbance, ADHD, ain't no daddy at home disorder. Okay? Now why do we say that? Because 75% of the black boys on stimulant medication, black and Hispanic, don't have male father figures in their lives. This has nothing to do with psychiatry. It's about fatherlessness. Fatherlessness. It's not the mother's fault that they can't do a good job raising a boy by themselves because the universe was not designed for them to do it alone. Just like it wasn't designed for fathers to raise daughters by themselves. You need both. It's a tag team situation. We're all half female and half male, and one side should dominate. So if the boy grows up and he ain't got his father there to teach him that discipline, he may go to school with no self-control. It ain't got nothing to do with ADHD. He hasn't been taught discipline. And what is discipline, parents? It is the ability to teach a child to do what he has to do when he has to do it, regardless of whether he likes it or not. But the problem with teaching discipline to black and Hispanic kids is what? A lot of the parents don't have it. And you can't teach what you ain't got. And since you can't teach what you ain't got, you got to put them on a pill so that way nobody knows you ain't teaching it. In other words, we all like to blame the diagnosis. And even in relationships now, I see us blaming the diagnosis for why we are troubling our partners. Well, he should get over it because I'm bipolar. Okay? I have an illness. Right. An illness. He says she should get over it. I have intermittent explosive disorder. I can't help it. I just get up and hit women when they get on my nerves. You see? But in order to understand your relationship pattern, because everybody in here has a relationship pattern, you do know that. All of us got a pattern, yep. When you go home tonight, you write down all the names of the significant relationships you have. Not the one night stands, not the hotel with Usher at the concert, not that. Okay? Okay? But the real people you date, the people who matter, good or bad, write their names down and look for the similarities. There's a pattern here. What is the unconscious need that all those people you dated are fulfilling in your life? There's one. For the men and for the women. We all have that pattern. And until you figure out your personal relationship riddle, you're going to keep on running into those types of people. So people say, why I keep attracting the same type of woman? Why I keep attracting the same type of man? Because you haven't figured out your relationship riddle yet. What is it that you're searching for unconsciously? Conscious mind looking for one thing. Unconscious mind looking for the other. And when we talk about the unconscious mind, we're only talking about what? Your inner child. The child you were from birth to age 12, you still are right now. But that child lives inside you, a part of your psyche. That little girl, still there. That little boy, still there. Now here's my question. What type of relationship did that little boy or little girl you used to be had with the two parents that raised him or her? 4 things we all needed from our parents. Some of us got it, some of us didn't. Some of us got a little bit of it, some of us got a lot of it. Some of us got it all from our mother and none of it from our daddy. Some of us got it all from our daddy and none from our mother, so it was lopsided. All types of trajectories. But the 4 basic needs of a child, of an adult, from their biological birth parents are love, trust, reciprocity, and intimacy. Love. Everybody is born with an invisible jar. One marked mom, one marked dad. They got to fill those up before you leave that house. They got to run it over. So let's say that mommy ran your jug over, but daddy didn't, ladies. So you got love by your mom, but you didn't get love by your dad. We are what? Psychologically predisposed to spend the rest of your adult life looking to get what he never got. Finishing what daddy started but didn't complete. So women will go and look for a man to father them, to parent them, to make their decisions for them. In other words, I need that other piece that daddy did not give me. That might be your relationship riddle. The reason why you keep getting in relationships with controlling, domineering, insecure men who control everything that you do is because you never had a daddy to give you that structure. And maybe that's your riddle. So love. Young men, for the brothers in the audience, let's say your mommy didn't fill it up. Y'all never got enough time in together. You're not too sure mommy really loved me like that. She treated my older brother better. He had a different daddy. Me, I was kind of left out in the cold. So that mommy jug ain't filled up. So guess what? You'll do the same thing that women do. Go in and out of relationships looking for women who do what? Be your mother. To pamper you. Ladies, you ever dated a man who needed you to be his mom? More than his woman? You was raising him as opposed to assisting? Very real. You never outgrow those things because everybody in here has 2 ages. 2. Biological and psychological. Biologically, I'm 38.5. I'll be 39 August the 21st, God willing, when I go to Haiti for Haitian independence. Well, the beginning of the Haitian Revolution. On my birthday, August 21st, I'll be in Haiti. When I turn 39, God willing, if it ain't another earthquake or anything like that. Okay? Well, they killed Hugo Chavez. You know, the Haitian earthquake was meant for Hugo Chavez. He said this on television. He said that wasn't supposed to go to Haiti, it was to go for me, but they messed it up. So they ended up killing him a couple weeks ago, so there should be more Haitian earthquakes. Okay? But biologically, I'm 38.5. Psychologically, am I 38.5? I could be 28.5. Could be 15.5. I could be just 5. How do you know your partner's emotional age? When they get upset. When you get angry, the ego takes over all rational thought and self-control. So when you get upset, you drop the social self. You know what the social self is, right? That's the person you are when you're dating. The fake you. And we all have one. That's why I laugh. Because we all got, some of y'all got a couple of them. Some of y'all got a bourgeois fake you, a ghetto fake you. Okay, you put this face on with him. When I go out with him, I'm going to put this face on. Fellas, I'm going to put that suit on with her. I'm going to do the business look. Even though I ain't never been in business, I'm going to do the business look. You see? But when you get angry, the ego forgets that it's supposed to be acting. Right. And then the real person comes out. Which is why I don't think people should settle down when the relationship has had no bumps in it. Right. Because you only know them under favorable conditions. Right. It's like choosing a new city to move to. I'm going to move to California because it's sunny and hot. But you know there's earthquakes out there. Have you been there doing that? Because if you ain't seen that side of California, you ain't seen California. You got to know the good and the bad. Right. So if you've never seen your partner, male or female, under the influence of anger, you don't know their emotional age. But as soon as you get angry, you become it. She's 35 years old biologically, but when she gets upset, she's 7.5. She throw a temper tantrum like a kid in the daycare center. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Right? Ladies, same thing with your man, right? He'll throw a temper tantrum in the middle of the movie theater. Everybody watching the movie, he just get up and start playing on it. Right? Emotional age. And everybody you date got one. And here's the thing. I gotta be honest. If you grew up in a single parent household, you're more likely to not have an emotional age that is equivalent to your biological. Right. And y'all see that? There tends to be gaps and deficits because of our family structure. Even if you grew up in a divorced household, same type of situation. But the key is awareness of the deficits so you can control them. A person who's depressed might wrestle with depression for the rest of their life, but if they know they're depressed, they can control it. So when we talk about mental illness, we don't necessarily talk about curing mental illness. We control mental illness. Do y'all see that? So if you know, well, you know what? I was never really loved by my daddy. The reason why I'm going in and out of these relationships like this is because I'm looking for that daddy figure. A lot of women who suffer from the daddy syndrome tend to end up being hopeless romantics. What are hopeless romantics, ladies? These are women who fall in love with men they meet on the first date. Every man you meet, you in love. Y'all went out, McDonald's, you got a number one, he got a number two, small fry. Chicken Caesar salad wrap, sham rock shake with the cream and cherry on top, $3.25. Right? By the time you get home, brothers, you got texts on your phone. And you reading these texts. First date, I always knew I would be with you. How do you always knew? I had a dream last night. I see things, and your places were a dream. My grandmother said I would marry a man with 6 letters. Well, my name is Umar. That's for mature junior. Umar Jr. That's 6. Now, fellas, we mess up with hopeless romantics. You know why? Because our ego loves a woman who just is in love with us. Man, she feeling me like that. All I did was get a slice of pizza, though. So we fail to realize that you're dealing with an unhealthy personality. Right. Ladies, y'all can also get hopeless romantics. You ever go out with a guy and he starts sending you all this stuff? I know you're the one, I don't need to look no further. And you're like, well, I do. I said, my first choice. Okay? What you should do when you get a hopeless romantic? You got to cut them off. You got to cut them off. And that was one of the biggest mistakes we make with hopeless romantic women is we do what? Know that there's a psychological imbalance. Because they're talking about they love you already. And so you know you should walk away from it. But you know what? Curiosity kills the cat. And you just got to know what the cookies feel like. So you say, I know she's not working with a full deck, but I need that. And so you sample the cookies. And once you open up that bag of cookies, ain't no closing. She's going to stalk you, harass you, follow you. And you knew up front you should have just dismissed it. Ladies, y'all do the same thing. You gave him some cookies knowing he was crazy. Man got one eye in the middle of his head. What you expect to happen after that? Cyclops, what you think? You got to know people who ain't balanced and get away from them. But nah, we don't like being alone. That's the problem with Americans, black or white. We don't want to be alone. We always need somebody there. Why? To distract us from ourselves. And why do we need so much distraction from ourselves? Because most of us are not happy, and most of us got a whole laundry list of issues we need to work through, but we don't. So dating is a drug, just like alcohol, cigarettes, and marijuana. The job is to do what? Help you escape from your reality. Problem is what? After the honeymoon period is over, that's called the high. Because you know when you first get it related, that's ha-ha. This is perfect. Me and her were going at it for 6 months. This is perfect. But guess what? After a while, the high calms down. And then the difference between the picture you projected him or her to be and who they really are begins to settle in. And you're like, wow, he ain't that great after all. She ain't that great after all. And then you know what you do? You get mad at them for not being able to deceive you better. If I'm wrong, tell me. I wish I never met her. She makes my life miserable. Reality check, Do you know that you was miserable before you met her? Okay? And see, when we get into relationships, we just want the person to fulfill the responsibilities we gave them. Your job is to distract me from my problems, not to remind me what they are. You ever in a relationship with somebody, you say, you know what, you really need to work on your drinking. You really need to work on your self-hygiene. You really need to work on your relationship with your mom. You really need to check that marijuana smoking you got. They will break your damn neck. Don't be telling me what's wrong with me. I'm not dating you for no self-improvement. I'm dating you for pleasure, so stick to your role. Some of y'all have people tell y'all that. That's none of your business. You ain't my judge. You see? Because we don't want people to help us grow. Because grow is pain. Growing pains. I don't want to grow. Leave me where I'm at. Just help me escape it a little bit better. And then we got to talk about post-traumatic relationship disorder. Because Lord knows that's a big problem. I made it up. That's my word. You can't use it unless you get it correct. Post-traumatic relationship disorder. And by the way, ladies, my next book is for y'all. It's The Art of War for Sisters. How to succeed and win in dating black men. Everything your father needed to tell you, but couldn't. See, certain things we can't tell our daughters because it don't make us look right. You can't say See, certain things we can't tell our daughters because it don't make us look right. You can't say, well, you know, once in a while, you might get a little cookie. But that mean you got a cookie on mama? I can't tell you that. I'm going to tell you everything y'all need to know. So that's going to be my next book, Just for Sisters. It's going to be in the form of questions with answers. What do I do when I find out he cheats? First thing you need to do is think about whether you want to stay in this relationship or not. The worst thing you can do is tell a man who cheated that you leaving and you ain't going away. Y'all good for that? What are y'all doing? For 3 hours, and then take your ass to bed. You gotta understand something, ladies. The man's ego doesn't want him to hide in the first place. Doesn't want him to hide in the first place. And once you confirm to the ego that you ain't going nowhere, no matter what I do, oh, the party is about to be on. Because I got you now. I done crushed those cookies so good, she ain't never. Some of y'all women know them, she's like, yeah, damn, that's true. And that's where ladies mess up. Because you got to think, you know what? I'm not leaving him. But I might leave him if you do it again. That's reasonable. Tell him that. I found out about it. I do not like it. If it happens again, I'm going to leave. But ladies, this is the man you sleep with. Y'all friends. Y'all know each other. He knows you too. So if you don't mean it, he'll know that too. So y'all got to stop projecting a false reality in the promise that you ain't going to fulfill. Because what happens is once he's aware that you know he got somebody else, guess what? His motivation to hide it drops and it gets less and less. And so before you didn't know she existed. Now she calling once in a while, texting him once in a while. You're like, why am I seeing all this before? I never saw this before. Because his need to hide it is lessened by the fact that you made it clear that you know and stay. Be quiet if you stand. That's my recommendation. And you say, no, I'm leaving. I don't believe in no cheating. Well, guess what, ladies? One of the things your daddy wanted to tell you but couldn't. Most men, not all, but most, once in a while, going to get another cookie. It don't mean he's going to keep the cookie. He might just want to sample. Okay? So if you leave a good man because he sampled a cookie, I just got one question for you. Who are you going to meet next? Because he's going to sample one too. So if you had a man who's taking care of you, the kids, providing, looking out, and you left that for Pee-wee, Pee-wee ain't got no job or nothing, and Pee-wee going to shit too. So all I'm saying, ladies, is think about it before you do it. I'm not saying stay. I can never tell you that you should not leave if that's in your heart. I'm saying make sure the decision you make ain't one you going to regret Because it ain't but so many good ones out there. I'm just going real. Okay? But I'm going to tell you when you better leave. Can I tell you when you better leave? I'll tell you what I'm telling my daughters, when you better leave. You must go if this happens. And that is when you went from being his number one, his queen, to now being his number two, his number three. The minute you are no longer primary in his life, you are being disrespected if you were there first. And now you must go. Because once you drop to number two, just like an old boxer, you begin to descend in the ranks. And before you know it, you don't even matter no more in his life. That's when you better be. As long as you the queen bee, you know when you call, he come, you know that you the one. I snap fingers and he pop. I don't know what that is. You got some girl over there in the training projects with one eye in the middle of her hand. I don't know what she doing for him. It better not be nothing nasty, but okay. I'm not going to even get into that because she look like she can fight with one eye. Because y'all know y'all ain't going to the project to check no sister about your man. Because you won't make it out. You know they got a little bell in the project. I used to live in the project when I was a kid. There's a bell that the women ring and all the women just come out. You talk about some unity, you ain't seen unity unless you see some project here. Okay? So be careful when you go approach her about some of these things. You got sisters who ain't right, they're on medication, they got 2 strikes, you go mess with the wrong sister about your man. Hell, you mess around and be her other man, you better watch it. You see? So ladies, when you know that you ain't number one no more, you got to leave. Go. That's time to split now because you ain't the queen no more. That's when you got to ride. And then you must also leave when it's blatant disrespect. See, it's one thing if you got a little cookie over there, okay, Cyclops, but you don't know about her. But when you got a situation where he's disrespecting you got to leave. You don't let no man disrespect you. You see? You got to watch that. And then women say, well, how did I lose him to her? She don't look like me. She got what happened. Did you see her? She's nothing like me. So how did she get him? You know how, ladies? She catered to his ego. She do everything you don't do. Do you know how hard it is for brothers to make it out here in the world and got to come home and handle your mouth? So you got a woman who don't complain, don't do nothing. She just damn when you need her. She gonna have you. Don't matter how much better you look, because she catering to his ego. That's right. That's why, ladies, you gotta watch when you let cook for your man too many times. That's not good. And if you don't cook, somebody's cooking. Okay? In both ovens. One in the kitchen and one in the cabin. Okay? Talking about I don't cook. See, that's the college-educated sister's problem. They say, I don't do that. I'm a power woman. I'm an executive. It's not that brothers can't deal with an educated sister. But when you give up your wifey skills because of your education, that becomes a problem. If a brother grew up in a home where mama cooked and grandmama cooked, they come from the deep south, and he used to the woman cooking and you don't do that, you automatically know that's a risk factor for someone to fulfill a void. Okay? That's just the reality of the situation. So it happens real easy. Y'all live on the block, and Shanae next door ain't got no man. She love to cook. And so one day y'all all outside talking, and your husband say, well, you know, he likes sweet potato pie. And Shanae hear that. So she gonna make some sweet potato pie. She in the window waiting for him to come home. Here you go, Greg, I thought you just made sweet potato. Then she said, Greg, how was my sweet potato? Oh, that was good, baby. I like that. You can throw that. You can teach my wife that. Ooh. I can do something she can't do. But be careful, she gonna start giving you the pie. She not gonna give them directly to Greg. She go, here you go, sister, get us the Greg. And I had some extra batter. You know, here go 2 extra pies. Just happen to be around the house, child. Just go get it. And so Greg keep eating them pies. And when Greg first seen her, she didn't look cute to Greg. But every man in here know that food do something to the way we perceive a woman. She did not look like Beyonce when you first met her. 2 upside pound cakes later. Greg Park and she up there, you looking at her like, she kind of resemble her a little bit. She made Greg a pineapple upside down cake, and he loving this pie. He falling in love with that woman's cooking. Not her, but the cooking. See? So then one day you come home and guess what? Greg got her upside down in the pineapple cake. Because you let her cook. Now it's okay for another woman to cook once in a while. Not regularly. She's stealing it from you. You don't even realize it. And why? Because the two greatest cravings of man is sex and hunger. That's why the stomach is right above the reproductive organ. They are related. You see that? So if she can't bake the cookie one way, she can bake it another. That's the reality. So I don't know, sister talking about y'all don't cook. You better learn something. Go get you a Hungry Jack meal or something. Take it off the grill. Now some of y'all lucky because some of y'all got men who cook, so you ain't even got to worry about that. But everything he cooked, you better treat it like it's gold. Because we say, I don't like this stuff. I'm not even a vegetarian. He keep bringing me apples and peas and stuff. I done lost 50 pounds, look like a smoke. I don't want no more vegetarian. Can I have some meat? Oh, you don't like his cooking no more? Well, co-worker do. Because we think that there's a such thing as a sister who will stay a secret. Where the hell you was raised at? No black woman gonna be no secret to no other black woman. Are you crazy? I'm gonna hide the fact I exist so your wife can live in peace. Oh, hell no. But what they will tell you, gentlemen, is they will tell you that, look, boo, I just want some of your time. I like our age. I know you got a wife, 3 kids, y'all been together 15 years. I'm not trying to spoil that. I just want to know if I can spend some time with you. I respect what you got. A working man, good man, I just need my time. Okay. So the first year, it goes well. Second year, she start putting more demands on your time. By the third year, when you letting her go for me, you like, hold tight, I never told you I was letting my wife go for you. I told you that up front. We had a deal. And she said, that was before I gave you 2.5 cookies. The deal's over. So you say, I'm changing my number, don't call me no more, this relationship is over. So you think. Next time you go home, she's sitting on your couch having tea with your wife. All your bags is packed up. And your son leaning on the wall, looking at you, dumbass. Daddy's a dumbass, look at this. He don't even know how to play right. And now you kicked out the house. Women don't do that. So fellas, if you polygamous, you got to say you polygamous and give the woman the opportunity to make a decision as to whether they want that.
Yes, sir.
If you want 2 women, say that. Some brothers want 3 and 4. I don't know how y'all do that. Hats off to you. I can't do that. That's too many. That's just too much feminine energy in my life. 2 max. I'm gonna have 2. But they won't be on the same continent. I'm a Pan-African, so I'm have a wife in America and then one in London, or Canada, or Africa, or the Caribbean. But I'm gonna have 2. I don't want them close to each other either. They won't even y'all ain't got to see each other. Keep space. This is your continent, that's her continent. When I'm in your continent, see that? All the space. That's how I'm doing it. Not for sexual reasons though, but for business and industry reasons. Not only do I got a lot to do for the race, I got a lot to do for me and my family and what I'm trying to do and set up for my children. Here and to come, hopefully. So I need more than one woman to do that. I can't put all that on one female. Now sisters, nobody wakes up wanting to be a co-wife. There's nothing great about polygamy, right? Sisters practice polygamy because it's necessary to maintain the sisterhood. One thing I need y'all to understand about polygamy is that we already have it in Black America, and Latino America, and white America. Okay? It's OPP like crazy if you ain't been paying attention. Okay? You have it, but it's not regulated and organized, and as a result of that, y'all get exploited, used, dismissed, no accountability. Man died, you got a kid with him, you ain't entitled to nothing because you wasn't official. On the community level or otherwise. African polygamy is different. See, the major religions, their polygamy is patriarchal. The men control it. Do some research on African polygamy. It was created by the queen mothers to benefit the women of the village. Because when the men went off to war and died, that created an unequal gender balance in the community. So it was the wisdom of the Queen Mother Elders who said, you know what? If we got 2,500 sisters and only 500 brothers because of war or disease or whatever, if we stick with monogamy, the community is going to be off the hook. We're going to have illegitimate children everywhere. Why? Because those other women are not going to wait for more men to be born and grow up to be 20 so they can sleep with them. They want something now. So guess what? The women knew this. So they said, you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to create a sister-wife situation here. Because this is going to undermine sisterhood unity in our village. Because the women are going to be constantly competing with each other for a limited pool of men. And that's exactly what you got in Black America. The lack of black men has eroded black sisterhood. 3 women go out together, cousins, sisters, friends, 2 good brothers. Somebody gonna hold out. And y'all trying to act like it don't matter, but you like, shit. When he go to the bathroom, I'm gonna try to slip on my number so my cousin don't see. Y'all sisters know how y'all slick. Can't nobody do it like a woman do. Y'all be slick. We don't even know what it is. She's trying to play with you now, dog. She just want me to help her son. So black sisterhood has to come back together and work it out. Women got to have y'all meeting. Not with me there, not with no brothers. Y'all got to say, look, y'all, you got to do something about this. Because we're sharing men. We don't want to admit it, but we're sharing men. And we need to do something about it. Because the products of that sharing, those illegitimate children have to live with the shame of their fathers. Grow up, can't say that who their daddy is because he married to her. I can't say he's my dad. I can't even acknowledge my brother or my sister because my mom said those are not her kids. We in the same classroom, but I can't say that's my brother. So the children got to live with our unwillingness to deal with the situation as it is. Polygamy wouldn't work now, not because of black men. It wouldn't work because of black women. Y'all would backbite each other then. Undercut each other, the competition. Once wife number 1 has a child, and then wife number 2 has a child, and wife number 1's child prefers to be nurtured by wife number 2 because she's more maternal, so when she comes over, the kids all run to her, and the other wives don't get no love from the babies, oh, you can forget it. Oh, she taking my kids from me. So before we can go to polygamy, sisterhood got to be worked out, and brothers, we got some work too. We have sexually objectified the black woman's body. We see her as a sex object more before we see her as a person. And you got to change that. But see, sisters, I got a way that y'all can work this polygamy thing where no men are going to want more than 1 wife. Or 2. Let me tell y'all the Umar Johnson plan for polygamy. So let's say we all live in Trent, right? Anybody want to get married, male or female, do you know what you have to do? You have to fill out an application and appeal to the Council of Elders for approval to get married. We're going to have a Council of Elders. You know what it is? 6 couples, 55 years of age and older, and all of them have been married for at least 25 years. Successful marriage. Queen mothers, and then you have the Babas of the village. Umar Johnson want a wife, I got to come sit down with them. They're going to check my credit, my employment history, any type of sexual deviancies I got. They're going to investigate my mother, my father, my whole situation before they expose any sister to me. And then they say, you know what, this brother check out, he's good for a first wife. They're going to pass me a book, a thick book, look like 10 Bibles stacked. And the book going to have the A on the front. A-list. My wife is going to come from the A-list. Do you know who's on the A-list? These are women who've never been married. Some are still virgins, no children, gorgeous, drop dead. Kelly Rowland halftime of the Super Bowl type stuff. And so I married Kelly Rowland. And I like it, it's going good. And I said, you know what? I'm doing all right. I think I can take care of another sister. I go back to the elders. They're going to talk to Kelly, see how I'm treating our kids. You know, boom, boom, boom. Check me out economically. Can I afford a second wife? Because you got to be able to afford. No romance without finance, fellas. A lot of us talk polygamy, but if you can't take care of one house, what you looking for a second for? What, everybody gonna be in one project apartment? Somebody sleeping in the kitchen with the French toast. So guess what? The elders investigate. They say, you check out for a second wife. They give me the next book. The next book is the B book. Now, what sisters are in the B book? These are sisters who still got it going on, but they probably have a couple of children, at least one. They may have been married before, got a divorce, probably didn't last long. Sisters still got it going on. They're just not as, new to the game as the A-list women. So I give me a B-list queen, we good, got my 2 wives, we good. A couple of years go by, I want a third. Because in my system, you can't get 4 wives at one time, 2 wives at one time. You got to prove that you can handle 1 woman before you get a second. Do y'all see that? That's the first thing that we got to do away with. Because a lot of brothers who practice polygamy be getting 2 at once. You haven't even demonstrated you can take care of 1 at once.
That's right.
What are you doing with 2? So you got to prove to the community that you are a benefit to it. So I go back to the elders. I say I want my 3rd wife. Wife number 3. I check out. They talk to Kelly. Then they talk to Shaka Khan. I'm serious as hell. Have y'all seen that lady? She can be my cougar. Be my cougar, honey. Anita Beck. Patty LaBelle, come here, cougar. So guess what? They give me a 3rd book. This is the C book. Now, fellas, this one it gets a little bit more complicated. Who's on the C list, ladies? Mike got more than 10 kids. May have been married more than 3 times. Might ain't had a job in 50 years. Might ain't finished high school. These are sisters with some baggage. They've been through some situations, right? But guess what? They still have a right to get married like anybody else in the village. And that's why in a polygamous situation, it ain't just the attractive women who get married in New Jersey. All the women got a right to get married. Whether she in a project with 20 kids or whether she unmarried with a doctorate degree, there should be an equal chance of getting married in an African system because it's based on equality. So my 3rd wife can't come from the A list, can't come from the B list, it got to come from the C list. That's right, I got to get a 3rd wife with baggage. Now the brothers is like, I'm cool with it. But it's working out with the 3rd wife, so I say, you know what? Give me a 4th.
Damn, brother.
I've been working out, give me a 4th. So I go back to the elders, they check out my 3 wives, check out the kids, everything work out, they say, okay, this is your 4th and final, because we're maxing out at 4. Because beyond 4, nobody needs is getting met in my system, okay? So guess what? I go back to the elders, they give me the 4th book, 4th and final book. You know what this is, fellas? This is the D book. Dangerous as hell. These sisters, might have lost 1 eye or ear. Stop talking about people. See? That's not right. Stop naming people. You're talking about me. No, on that list already in church. Okay? They might got a couple gunshot wounds and a couple shootouts. Might have killed 2 baby dads. You know, things happen. That's going to be your 4th wife, brothers. That's the D list. Dangerous. These sisters might have a little bit of Ritalin, might have a couple of prescriptions, bipolar, borderline, y'all know, schizophrenia, things happen. But fellas, before you say no to the D list, some of y'all like, I'm gonna just stop at A and B, I'm done. But think about it, fellas, if you got a sister from the D list, she's an asset to you. Because guess what? You ain't never got to deal with any nonsense coming from your other 3 wives. All you got to do is say, get him, girl. And this guy, didn't he tell you to go? Let me come back over here and get him. 1 eye right here. You got a dealer, you ain't got no drama, no baby mama drama. She will handle that. She will handle that. Your baby mama, excuse me, I need you to leave because I will call the cops. That's what I want you to do. Because I've been in jail before. And I ain't got a problem going back. But I want you to know, if I go back again, shall see me soon. So that's A, B, C, and D. But ladies, my point is what? If men had to follow a polygamy structure based on equality for women, how many of us really want 4? Where you know you got a D list running around. How many want 3 when you got a C list running around? Some probably couldn't even afford the second wife. So my point to the ladies is don't run from the polygamy. Create a system in such a way that it makes having an extra wife a pretty big burden. See, most of us have only seen polygamy in the Islamic version.
That's right.
Or the Moorish version, or the Hebrew version, or whatever man-dominated religion you know of. Where the men control it. That is not African polygamy. African polygamy, the woman regulate it. You got to choose your sister wife. I just don't come home with a new wife. I got to say, look, I was dating a sister, you know, the council of elders, and boom. What do you think about it? You might say, I could work with that youngin'. Or you might say, it don't work that way. See, if I got 4 wives, they're going to be spaced out in age too. I might have one in her mid-20s, one in her mid-30s, one in her mid-40s. Depending on how she look, it might be one in the mid-50s. Well, Shaka Khan, she like 50, right? So that's my Dee. No, she ain't Dee. Yeah. Better than the young ones. But Shaka Khan, that's 55. Who's a nice 45? Take off the social mask. Stop lying about who you are. You got to live together, because when you live together, what happens? The ego gets tired of playing Hollywood. You can't keep that up. The person you be when you go to work, that's only 8 hours. Can you imagine being at 24? Even when you come home, you got to act like it. Your ego will say, I'm tired of this. Let him know the real you, child. Let him know. And that's why fellas get married. Fellas say, you know what? She used to cook for me for 10 years, man. We moved in together. She didn't cook for me once because she's not a cooker. That was game. Lady like, he used to open the door for me. Every time he go out, he'd get out his door, out his car door, open up my car door, walk me to the steps, kiss me on my forehead, rub my feet. We moved in together. He slams the door now. You know why? Because we live together now. What the hell am I faking for? I'm stuck with you. That's why having a baby, getting engaged, getting married, or living together always shows you's the real person. When a man find out you having his seed, he's stuck with you. To hell with the mysteries. You're going to get real with me now, because I'm stuck with you. We got a kid together, hell with all that. Ain't no more Broadway. Better go to the dollar movie. Red box, man. Now, ladies, I know what y'all gonna say next. How long though, Dr. Umar? I've been living with my man 5 years. Like, when is too long? Like, it would take y'all that long? First of all, I heard a sister tell me the other day, she said a man know within 3 weeks whether he wants you. No, he don't. In 3 weeks, he ain't sampled enough of your real cooking. He ain't sampled enough of your cookies. Okay? He don't know how you gonna treat his kids. He ain't got a chance to meet your dad. It ain't that fast. Now, you might meet a sister and say, I really feel this. But you need more time to investigate. So I'm going to give y'all my rule of thumb. Cohabitation, ladies, 2 years maximum. If you've been living with a man for 24 months and he can't make up his mind as to whether or not he wants to marry you, it's because he don't want to. Are we clear? So I don't need no more questions. And fellas, some of y'all mad, and I don't give a shit. That's right. So some of y'all like, well, I've been with my man for 5 years. Should I go home and pack up? Yes. Because guess what? If he really want you, he gonna come and get you. That's right. Let me tell you about it. Oh, hell, we ain't giving up nothing good. We ain't giving up. But the problem with men and women, we suffer from the curse of premarital sex. Do you know what the curse of premarital sex is? Let me give you an example, ladies. You got 2 men. One of them is the perfect husband, perfect father. But his sex is not good. This one over here is a he don't work, he don't clean, but he rings you down. And so now you messed up because that's the one you want, but you want him to have his hardware. Y'all see that? And so you end up messing up something good because you know what better feels like. If you was a virgin till you got married, it would all be good to all of us because the only person you've ever had is your husband or wife. So it don't matter how good or poor they are, you don't know because you're still innocent sexually. But every extra person you have sex with is another standard of comparison. And fellas, we do the same thing. How many times we had a good woman, cook, clean, take care of our kids, but she ain't had those special tricks. Because you think a sister from the side, she done something. She walked on water. She used to get out the bed, you be sitting there playing with your thumb. So once we had our world rock, we never go back the same. So now we got a good woman, but guess what? We like, if I marry her, I got to give up Tanaka. So we all suffer from the curse of premarital sex because we meet good people and we hold out on them because the sex ain't that good. It's not good. It's not good. You see? And then we learned this other thing that we picked up from the Western civilization called fellatio, which took that just messed everything up. So, because now brothers know there's a whole nother way to do this. And once you've had that, it's difficult to forget you had it before. And ladies, the same thing with y'all. But see, women, I need y'all to be careful. You know why? Because the number one reason why black women are coming down with so much AIDS is because of bisexual men. I'm not talking about people's sexual preference or whatever. Not tonight, anyway. Okay, this on YouTube. But anyway, sisters, y'all got to be careful. Because y'all drop it. Churches are losing their black women like crazy to AIDS. Heterosexual black women dying because they're dealing with men who on the down low. Weeks ago, sister said, Brother Umar, I'm married to my husband. We've been married for 5 years. 5 years, and he just confessed to me that he'd been homosexual for 7 years prior to us getting married. She just emailed me. In fact, I'm going to do a book on my emails. I'm going to do like a Dear Abby, Dear Umar thing. Right. Because usually you'd be surprised at the stuff that I get. One lady found out the husband was a pedophile. One man found out his wife was a pedophile. Used to sleep with teenage boys. Wow. I get these emails. People be like, you know why? Because we lie. Why do you just tell her you like little kids up front so she could have just left? Right. We don't do that. We suck people into our life and then drop all our misery off on these things. Very dangerous. And we got to do something about that. But the whole issue here is taking your time to find the right person. Why y'all feel like y'all got to rush? And black women, when you raise your daughters, stop telling these little girls, don't get married until you've done your education. Don't think about dating. You don't tell no black woman that. You know why? Because she's not going to be done her education until she's like 35, 37. So if I put off getting married and having kids till I'm 35, 37, when I get 35, 37, do you know what happens? I start looking desperate and aggressive, and it turns men off. Fellas in here who are at least 35, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you date a woman who's at least 35, what you got to deal with on the first date? The first date is like a mafia meeting. I'm 37 and only got like 3 good years left to have kids. So I need to be engaged by the summer, pregnant by the spring, and married by Christmas. Fellas in my age group, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like the women come to the table so damn serious that they scare your ass off. It's like, I don't know you, I don't know your zodiac, I don't know nothing. And you already telling me that we're supposed to be married in 18 months because your parents told you don't get married until you've done your education. Forget that. You get married when you see the need. You meet a good brother, you settle down, you get married. Y'all can build together. Because you know what I'm finding? Too many educated black women. Too many educated black women between 35 and 45 are successful. Good job, good education, no husband, no kids, and now they are in a desperate race to get them before it's too late. Are y'all following me? And I'm going to tell you right now, unless God made the woman not to have children, there's nothing normal or healthy about a black woman in her 50s without children. Y'all the mothers of civilization. Can't no black woman convince me that she's fine when not reproducing. There's no black. You know what I find? A lot of the black professional women my age who I work with, many of them be nasty as hell until they get knocked up. You know how many black women I know? Nasty. And soon they get pregnant, they turn into like Mother Mary. Because women need that baby. I'm not saying go out there and get pregnant by anybody. We got to plan the families. But I'm saying make sure you don't delay starting your family and putting your education first, because that ain't going to benefit you. That is not going to benefit you. And for my very attractive sisters, y'all often suffer from what I want to call this. It's like an arrogant aura where y'all so used to getting all this attention that y'all never think about settling down in your 20s. You never think about settling down in your 30s. You barely think about settling down in your 40s. And so now you're almost 50 and now you're looking for a husband when you done passed up 1 million of them. But the problem is your ass was too cute for so long. Y'all know people who suffer from that, don't you? Yeah, now she got empty nest. Look at her, she's still cute. I can't find a man. Learn when to settle down. And fellas, we got to settle down too, because you don't want to be the old guy at the club. I'm going to tell you right now, next time I see a black man over 40 with an Allen Iverson jersey and the hell with the throwbacks after 40. Turn them things in. How you doing with some shell tops on and an Iverson jersey at 55? Going ball right here so the cornrows don't even go all the way back. You got to start a new cornrow. Come on, y'all. Accept your age. Women do the same thing. Some grandmas be at the club trying to judge. Come on, man. You do look good. You still look good, grandma. But this ain't the place for you, though. Okay? Everybody can tell you kind of like out your range a little bit. Go to that Jodeci concert. I was in Phoenix last weekend, right? So the people who brought me to Phoenix, they treated me to a concert. It's an old school concert. Let me tell y'all who was there. Drew Hill, Jodeci, Tank, Mint Condition, Jagged Edge. I liked it. Let me tell you what KC does. Now you know he weighed like 50 pounds, right? He like this big. This dude took his clothes. You know how Hulk Hogan used to tear the shirt off? But Hulk Hogan had muscles. This dude came out in the audience, stood up on a chair like Christ, and ripped his muscles. He looked like a damn rib. I couldn't have done that. Put your jacket back on. And then his nipple placement was off. Let's talk about the different types of men that women need to stay away from.
Yes, let's do that.
But I ain't gonna hold y'all. When I was at the cheesesteak place the other night, they had the best of Jodeci hits. I had to get it. Jodeci got some hits though. They couldn't hit the notes though. They didn't lose their voices. You know what I mean? But they were. And let me tell you what Tank was doing. He was walking around talking about, hey sister, how much you pay to get your hair done? $45. Brother, give her $45. I'm gonna pay for it. So his man was giving out $45. Another sister, how much you pay to get your hair done? $65. 65. Give her 65. How much you pay to get your hair done? 90. Give her 180. We're gonna pay 2. And then one sister stood up and said, you ain't even pay for your own woman to get her hair done. She's sitting over there. Ooh. Now, I don't know if it was true. I don't think his woman was there. In Tank's defense, I don't think his woman was there. But that's what the sister said. So I'm letting y'all know now, at my lectures, I'm not giving out no hair money. Okay? So what's the 5 types of men that sisters need to watch? You got the pimp, player, predator, couch potato, impregnator, Now who's the impregnator? He makes babies and run from them. Jody from baby. Well, no, Jody kind of, nah. Wait, didn't Jody take care of his baby? Yeah. I'm glad you brought up baby boy. Remember Snoop with no shirt on, the baby boy? Snoop and Casey could be first cousins. So, anyhow, the pimp, ladies, is the man who wants to use you for your economic resources. He wants your good credit, he wants to use your car, he wants to move in with you, pay my child support, pay my bills. He's all about using you. And if you got low self-esteem, you're going to end up getting used, black woman. In fact, if I was in control, no black woman, and when I say black, I'm talking about Hispanic sisters too, because we all African descent. No black woman would be allowed to date with low self-esteem. Why would I not let a black woman with low self-esteem date in these days and times? Because if you got low self-esteem, the only thing you're going to end up being is somebody's doormat. I'm serious. If I could do one thing to all black women, just one thing to all black women, just as one thing, I would give them all high self-esteem. Because a sister with low self-esteem will accept any kind of treatment. And it's something else I need to tell sisters. And this applies to brothers too. You cannot date above your level of self-esteem. A sister with low self-esteem trying to date a man with high self-esteem, all you can be to him is a personal assistant. You can't be his mate. If I got low self-esteem as a man and I'm trying to date a sister with high self-esteem, it does not match. She thinks the world of herself. I think nothing of myself. All I can be for her is her doormat. So before you start going for that man that you really want, ask yourself, do you have the same self-esteem he got? Fellas, before you start going for the woman you really want, ask yourself, do you got the same self-esteem as the woman you chasing? Self-esteem got to be equal. So if you got low self-esteem, do you know what you're supposed to do? Find a brother with low self-esteem. No, I'm being honest. Oh, you said you already got that? No, I'm being serious. You got to date within your self-esteem bracket. No, I'm being serious. You feel me? Brothers and sisters, you can't beat that. You can date now, but you definitely can't date up because they're going to know that you don't feel as confident in yourself as I do. It comes out. It comes out. Men and women, you cannot trick the other person. They're going to know sooner or later you don't think much of yourself. And if I think everything of myself, I definitely can't be seen with you because this ain't right. Stay within your self-esteem bracket. And that's the reason why we don't attract the type of people we want to. You do know that. Because when you got low self-esteem, you send off the energy that keeps the type of person you really want away from you. Because deep down inside, you don't think you deserve them anyway. That's right. That's right. It's like a brother who goes up to a sister and says, sister, I would like to take you out on a date. She looking like, yeah, I like this. I have nothing to offer this man. You know what she does? She cancels the date. She don't return his phone call. She said she wanted a good man, right? She got one. But guess what? Her self-esteem too low. She's too insecure. She don't think she deserves him, and she chases him away. So be careful when you start saying you can't find what you're looking for. Are you ready for it? Do you have the self-esteem to deal with that? And then we got to talk about dating. Ladies, there's an art to this. Okay? Now, women always say, well, brother Umar, one night stand, you know, does that mean he's not going to want me? Let's talk about that. Steve Harvey said what? I think Steve Harvey said the 90-day rule to give out a cookie.
Yes.
That's not a bad rule, but more important than 90 days is chemistry. I mean that, okay? Because if you date a man who don't respect women and got a mother issue, you can make him wait 90 years. And you're still going to be a bitch to him when you make him mad. Do y'all follow what I'm saying? Time don't matter if he got issues. On the flip side, if a man is digging you and you digging him and y'all get there a little too quick, but y'all feeling each other, then so be it. I know couples who've been married for 10, 20 years and they got down fairly early in the relationship. But if you misjudge the chemistry, it can mess the whole thing up. So It is best to wait as long as you can, because the assumption, ladies, is what? From a man. The amount of time I had to wait is usually the amount of time everyone before me had to wait. So if it's too soon, he might start wondering, is this how you usually get down? And it could raise a question mark in his head. But if the chemistry is eye to eye there, but you got to make sure you certain. As a rule of thumb, ladies, if this is a keeper, you want to keep them. Delay the cookies as long as you can. Delay, delay. Now, if you just in the moment right now, you in heat, he got one eye, and nobody gonna know anyway. Okay, girl. But as a rule of thumb, make him wait. Because let me tell y'all, ladies, this is what ladies say. Well, if you don't give him none, he's gonna leave you alone. Oh, no, no, no. When it's time for us to settle down and get married, do you know who we gonna go looking for? We gonna go looking for the women who held out. We ain't going for the easies. Oh yeah, when it's time to decide who's gonna be the mother of your kids and now you got your economics together, you gonna go find the tough cookie. Because you know ain't too many people that crack that. That's right. That's right. So if you value who you are, stick to your standards, ladies. Don't break them. Because trust me, if he the type of man that you deserve, he coming back. It's best to wait. But see, the problem is sometimes y'all be in heat more than us. Right. We come over your house for a cup of coffee and I smell cookies. Is the oven on there? Chips Ahoy, Famous Amos, dollar store cookie. You see? So the brother get there, he smelled cookie, so he already know you in the season. You know? And sometimes it's hard to turn down a cookie that's in season because you feel like it's your obligation to take care of black women. You see what I'm saying? So sisters, you got to make sure you're in your season when you invite them over the house, because you know, sexually, you give off hormones. Did you know that? Have you ever walked into a room and knew that a man was sexually attracted to you and he didn't even look at you? You over there looking at the art. And I don't know what's going on in that picture. Some shit ain't right in here.
That's European right there, Doc. That's some European shit right there, Doc.
Anyway. I'm lucky I ain't got my PowerPoint. But anyway, my point is, if he's a keeper, delay it. Fellas, we should do the same thing. If she's a keeper, don't take the cookie. Wait so she can see that you got sexual discipline. Because women don't expect that from men.
That's true.
Ladies, never go into his house the first date. You don't do that. Okay? And don't let him in yours the first date either. It's really not a good thing. He can walk you to the door, give you a kiss, whatever, but don't invite him in. Okay? Here's the rule, sisters. Never appear desperate. That is your rule. Put it on a t-shirt, get it tattooed. Never appear desperate. The minute you appear desperate, your stock just dropped. And the older you are, the more you have to guard against being desperate. Because men may sometimes make the assumption that because she's older, she's more needy. So the older you become, the more you have to stick to your self-discipline. No, thank you. I don't think it's appropriate for you to come in. Damn. I'll tell you something. And this ain't fair, right, ladies? But you know how we weed y'all out? By crushing the cookies as soon as we can. That's how you weed them out. Who's easy, who's not. Don't mean you're a bad woman. But this how there's so many of y'all. You got to figure out, you know, who's the keepers. So you crush to see who should be kept. Now sometimes one of them quick cookies might be the best cookie in the store. So now you kind of messed up. You're like, hey, she gave it to me quick. Oh my goodness. So, because some sisters just got talent. Brothers know what I'm talking about. Because any sister who ever put it on a man, I don't care who he is, he lying if he say he don't know where she at. He might can't get it. He might can't. Oh, but he know where she at. She moved out the state and didn't tell me. What? How's she gonna do that? Now you on Facebook, Twitter, looking for yo. How you gonna do it? Like, yo, I depended on you. So ladies, after the pimp, you got the player. Who the player? The player is the opposite. He don't need your money. He don't want your credit. He don't want you to pay his bills. He don't need your car. All he wants is your cookie. Butter almond, butter pecan, lemon, caramel, fudge. He like cookies. He's the Trenton cookie monster. You got any cookie monsters in Trenton? Yeah. Brother's just trying to get as many cookies as he can. He trying to sample the whole store. Famous Amos, Salt Bags, Dollar Store cookie, everything there. And what's the real expensive cookies? Like $5 a cookie? That's what you want to be, ladies. Be that $5 cookie. We walk right on by the $5. Like, I can't afford that. $5 is breaking. You want to be that cookie. That $5 cookie, the big oatmeal, the heavy one is like a 2-pound. Okay? But here's the thing, when you date, sisters, you have to determine whether or not a man is playing until he finds the right woman, or if he's a player for life. Right. Some men play, but once we find our queen, everybody else got to go. I'm not losing this. He's just a temporary player until he get his queen. That's what he's supposed to do. Other men, even when they find the right woman, they still play. 70-year-olds. Okay? Fellas, women are the same way. Some women, they find a good man, they stop playing. Some women, they find a good man and they still keep other guys on the side. It's just the way that they are. So you got to study people really well, and the best way to do that is to look at how their mother and father operates. It's not guaranteed that she's going to be like her mother, but she will have some of those traits if she raised him. It's not guaranteed he's going to be like his dad, but he will have some of those traits if daddy raised him. You gotta study the parents. If the mama fast and the grandmama still turning tricks, well, I don't think your luck too good, though. Okay? You gotta study that kind of stuff. Okay? So who next, ladies? The predator is next. And this one is no laughing matter. The predator is the man who psychologically preys on women with low self-esteem who need attention so that he can abuse them later, domestically, verbally, sexually, physically. It starts off real good. He meets you at an event like this. Got to start going out a couple times. Yeah. Then he might want to move you in or move in with you, and then he want to start disrupting your lifestyle. You hang out with your girlfriends every Friday. Y'all been doing that since college. But he wants to know why you can't stop because he's in the picture now. You go to church with your mother every Sunday since you was a little girl. But you have me now. I'm your man. You tell your mother you can't go to church because you got a man to take care of. And he starts playing with your mind, making you think you're doing the wrong thing by not being up under him. And then once he cuts off all your friends and all your family and all your sorors and all your church sisters, then what happens? He starts verbally abusing. Small little stuff. Like, why don't you find something to do with yourself? Why are you gaining all that weight? Why don't you clean up? I don't like your hair that way. He just finding stuff wrong with you. So you can argue back and give him a right to argue more. And then he starts practicing around the house. You come home and there's holes in the wall. You come home, broke lamps and stuff. You're like, what the hell is going on in my house? Do you know what's going on in your house? He getting ready. Okay? And then one day, ladies, your life changes. He puts his hands on you. I'm going to tell y'all this because y'all don't like to listen. If he hits you once, he will hit you again. And fellas, I need y'all to know this. And if any brother in here got an issue with putting his hands on women, contact me. I'll work with you myself. In fact, I had a brother contact me. I did relationships, where was it? Not Phoenix, not New York, maybe Baltimore. Brother came up to me that day. He said, look, Dr. Umar, I need your help, man. I beat up my women. He was only like 21. He said, yo, I beat him up and I beat him up bad, man. I got issues. Can you help me? So me and the brother gonna start working together. Okay? Because brothers need people they can go to and talk to too. So any brother in here got an issue with putting your hands on women, let me know. I'll work with you. But that is not acceptable. And too many men are doing it and not looking for the help that they need. And if you don't want to get the help from me, you go to the Association of Black Psychologists website, abpsi.org. A as in association, B as in black, P as in psychology, S as in strong, I as in individual. ABPSI, 5 letters.org. It's also a national group for men who suffer from domestic violence tendencies, who they send people out to do therapy with you. We got to stop this because it's bad. Too many black women are going to the hospital for black eyes, busted lips, teeth missing. And I feel sorry for my sisters because they ain't got nobody to go to. They can't go to their family. The family gonna say, you stupid for staying here. You ain't gonna help her like that. They can't go to her friends. Why? You're not gonna offer a place to stay in your house. You wanna know why? Because you think your husband might want to bake one of her cookies. So she can't come here because she might take my man. So you leave her in there, they get beat on. And then black women don't go to the domestic abuse places because the white people treat y'all like animals. Y'all don't feel comfortable telling them, yeah, my man beat on me. They're gonna look at you like you deserve it because that's what y'all people do. So sisters suffer in silence. They can't go to the church. Hell, there's more men beating on their women in the church than outside. I'm telling y'all what I know. And the pastors, cowards, they don't do nothing about it. Imams too. Muslims too, same thing. I know this. That brother over there is beating on his wife. What are you going to do? Well, that's between him and If you claim to be a leader of the Lord and the flock and all this other stuff, y'all need to step to that brother. You don't let him beat on his wife. And then some religious people so sick, they tell you to do what, ladies? Stay with him because y'all need an oath before the Lord. So you mean to tell me the Lord condones me getting my ass whipped? Where's that at in the Bible? I don't see that nowhere. But this is what they telling you, in the name of the Lord. So ladies, I need y'all to be a better friend to other sisters, and I need y'all to stop enabling them. What do I mean when I say stop enabling them? That's when you say, well, girl, you a good woman. He know he shouldn't be treating you like that. Call him up. Do you see what you're doing? You're making an excuse for her. Empower her. Right. Why are you allowing him to do this to you? And y'all ladies got to know how to walk away. If not for you, your children. If your daughter sees her mother get beat on, do you not know she's now at risk to accept it herself later? If your son see his mother get beat on, do you not know he's more likely to beat his daddy, beat his women like he saw his daddy do? This don't stop with your generation. What we do affects our children because they see the example in us. And that's why some of us know families where what? Every woman got beat on. Grandma got beat by her man. Mommy got beat by her man. I'm getting beat by my man. And my daughter getting beat by her boyfriend and she only in the 9th grade. Y'all see that? It repeats and perpetuates. Get out of them situations. Don't let nobody disrupt your life. Stay the person you was before you got married. Yeah, you got to give up some of your freedom. But if you like to hang out, you should continue to do that. One of the biggest mistakes that women make is when they settle down or meet the man they like, they transform to accommodate him. You don't do that. I want you to be the person I liked. Stop trying to be the person you think I need you to be. If you used to hang out, I want you doing that. You used to hang out and do charity work, keep doing charity work. You was in college, stay in college. But if you start changing, then you're not the person that I fell in love with. You new something. And what's my rule on having kids, ladies? Because women always say, well, y'all give us all these babies and then y'all want to run off with some old young chick. That's wrong, ladies. So this is my rule, and I want the fellas to hear me well. Here's the rule. 3 babies or 10 good years, whichever come first. You give him 3 babies, he bought that. You drop 3. So if your nose spread, let it. Whatever you want to do after 3 babies, that's you. And fellas, y'all need to know that. You can't be giving women all these kids and expect them to still be looking like Megan Good. It don't work like that. Now, if he ain't getting you no kids, you got to stay the way he met you for 10 good years. After 10, you can go buck. Okay? But you got to get your 10. So you got pimp, predator, player, couch potato. How many ladies in here date couch potato? Don't work. Don't want to work. I'm not talking about a brother trying to find a job. I'm talking about a brother who ain't even thinking about finding a job. Living off of you. You go to work every day. day he in your bed, you come back, he's still in the same place. Didn't wash, didn't clean nothing, didn't do no dishes, and then when you come home, he got the nerve to ask you what's for dinner. You've been here all day. I should be asking you. He's sitting on your couch, your robe, your do-rag, your flip-flops, and your remote control. But you know what's so sad about that? What's so sad about the couch potato situation, ladies? Some women like those kind of men because if they stay home all day, you ain't got to worry about nobody taking them from you. I'm only telling you what I know. I'm only telling you what I know. And you know what, ladies? Some of y'all are raising couch potato boys. Which is interesting because y'all don't want a deadbeat man, but y'all raising deadbeat men for somebody else's daughter. That's right. Y'all love your daughters, right? Your daughters is good. They go to school. She got an after school job, scholarship, cheerleading, volleyball. She work out. She got it going on. About to buy herself a little car after she graduates. And look at him on the couch. A damn loser. Cornrows, Iverson jersey. It's something about the crazy woman's house. It's the right temperature. It's the right voice. Them cookies is great. But you want to pay for it after, ain't you? Because right after y'all done, she can start ripping shit off the wall. So you got to be careful with crazy cooks. And she always know how to get you back. You had to get a restraining order on her. She don't even care no more. She said, that the best you can do? In fact, until you come back home, I'm going to beat your baby mama up every day until you come back home. So now your baby mama telling you to go back because I can't. Fellas, y'all better learn how to walk away from crazy women because what happens is what? You get tired of them beating on you and one day you snap and you end up hurting her and now you in jail for the rest of your life. I work in prisons. I know a lot of brothers in jail because they was dealing with some sister who couldn't keep their hands off of them and one day he snapped and hurt her. And you should never put your hands on a woman, okay? And ladies, y'all gotta stop hitting men too. You gotta stop that. And fellas, you gotta recognize when you can be victimized by domestic violence. Okay, because men are often terrorized by women. Y'all bust their car windows out, bleach their clothes, cut their nail up, stalk them on Facebook. You got to watch that kind of stuff. Them hopeless romantic chicks, they be off the chisel. They follow you around. You at the supermarket, you get a phone call. What are you doing in aisle 4? What do you mean aisle 4? You at the supermarket. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. And you got on the same clothes you wore yesterday. So then you leave the supermarket, you go to the mini market. Bring me back a pint of ice cream. I'm in friend zone. This is for men and women. Let's go for both of us. When you date somebody and they got close friends of the opposite sex, they must have a very good reason why that person is in the friend zone. If they don't have a very good reason why that person is in the friend zone, then they're not in it. If I'm dating a woman, and she got a close male friend, I'm going to say, why is he only your friend? Have you ever dated? She says, no, we're just friends. Why have I never explored anything more? Her answer to that tells me whether or not they did or whether or not they still are. Now, he's a good friend. Excuse me, he used to date one of my best friends. That's understandable. We used to date a while ago, and now we ain't dating no more. That's kind of dangerous because you can always spark up an old flame. Same thing with a fella. You talking to a lady or a lady. Let's take you with your fella. You say, is she in the friend zone? He says she in the friend zone. You say, why? You know, this should be a good reason why. You know, she used to date my cousin. That's all it's ever been. You know what I mean? Or it just got to be a good reason. Because as a rule of thumb, men really don't have a lot of women in the friend zone. Okay? We basically have past, present, and future. Those we crushed, those we trying to crush. And if they in the friend zone, it must be for a good reason. Sometimes the brother sees sister say, you know what, for whatever reason, I'm just going to keep her in the friend zone. She's just good sister. I don't want to go there with her. Most of the time, if we have people in the friend zone who are of the opposite sex, it's because we're not interested in them at any level. You follow me? So that means that they're either very unattractive or already married or date somebody we knew, but it must be a reason. If your person ain't got a reason for why they're close friends and in the friend zone, I got an email from a sister. She said one of her not best friends, close friends from high school, tried to push up on her, and he's married now. And I told her that that was probably going to happen sooner or later because you were not in his friend zone. He might have been in yours. Do y'all see that? He might have been in your friend zone, but you wasn't in his. He was just waiting for the perfect time. You see? And so we got to understand. And we as men, we understand that. So when our women be talking about I got close male friends, we know better. Okay? Because most of our close male friends, you know, we was pretty close before. Female. Here's the issue though with friends. There's sexual cheating, but there's emotional cheating. If my woman is crying on another man's shoulder before she come home and tell me her problems, she cheating on me. If your man is crying on another woman's shoulder before he comes to you, he's cheating on you emotionally, which leads to the sexual. Okay? So you got to nip that in the bud. If you are closer to another person than the person you married to, why you ain't with that person? And if you ain't got a good reason for why you ain't with them, it's because you're dealing with them also. And one thing we do know is what? People will play the role to keep getting what they get. They'll meet your husband, meet your wife, and lie to your face and say nothing going on because they have an arrangement. And you have to be particularly careful about arrangements from baby mamas and baby dads. Okay? Because that reminisce cookie, that reminisce cookie, that reminisce, y'all, if you got kids, you know, it's easy to go back there. So you put boundaries up. That's why if you dating and you got kids, and the person you date got kids, and they ain't got no boundaries, be careful. If his baby mom could come over his house whenever she feel like it, that ain't cool. There might be times she can come, days she can come, you're going to be there, but to have somebody you used to have relations with free access into your world like that, that's not cool. Her baby daddy calling her cell phone 1 o'clock in the morning, and both their kids is teenagers, give me a damn break. He ain't calling about no damn homework because they don't do nothing. Okay? He calling about cookies. Reminisce cookies. And the truth of the matter is, ladies, y'all have to work on your emotional resiliency because a lot of men with children tend to feel and tend to be correct that they can break down their baby mama's defenses if they want to get back into their life on that level. If you meet a good man, what's the first thing your baby daddy going to do, ladies? First thing you're going to do, we find out you're in a good relationship, he feels threatened. Because this might be the guy that takes away your side cookie, your baby mama. So you know what you're going to do? So when everybody, yo, you know she's dealing with that dude, man. I think she's really digging him, man. Oh, hell no. That's my insecurity. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm trying to crush the hell out of them cookies the next chance I get. Mess her back up. And put her back on me. And then guess what? The guy she's dealing with, he's going to feel the energy. We're like, oh, something ain't right. He's going to know that you flip-flop. See, ladies, y'all got to know when y'all done with something, don't go back there. And then what happens with a lot of women is they don't want their baby daddy, but they don't want nobody else to have him either. So what do y'all do then? Whenever somebody seems like they're about to steal him, you throw him a cookie, and Cyclops go crazy with that one eye. And you know you shouldn't have gave him a cookie. Then he's banging on your door. And people ask you, why is he banging on your door? I don't know, he's just crazy. Hell no. If you ain't having sex with him, I don't care how crazy he is, he will get over it sooner or later. If he gets crazy out the blue, it's because you threw him a cookie. And he quit it and he came back. Same thing with the man. Same thing with the man. Why your baby mama crazy? Because you stirred them cookies up. And you know you should have left her alone. Because once you stir them up, you go right back to the beginning. You do know that. Then you got to do the weaning off process all over again. And the other thing that y'all need to understand is the reason why a lot of us can't find the person that we're looking for is because we cheated on the universe with all these other people we don't want. The universe is not going to send you the man or woman that you want until you give up everything else. But you don't want to do that. You keep one in the pocket, right? We all keep one in the pocket. When you need your cookie crush, you call him with that eye, right? And so because you got him with that eye, the universe ain't going to send you no good man. You know why? Because the one with that eye would damn near kill that man if he came into your life. So until you stop cheating on the universe ain't going to send you. That works for men and women. You got to give up the extras. Give up everything else so you can receive that which you really want. Very, very true. Now, when we talk about Personality disorders, and I'm only going to do a couple so we can go to the Q&A. Personality disorders are very real, and a lot of people suffer from them. And if you date somebody who suffers from a personality disorder, they are not likely to overcome that personality disorder, which means the relationship ain't going to be a healthy one. What are some of the biggest personality disorders? These are real. Depressive personality disorder. You know what that is? That's somebody who's always depressed without a good reason to be. You ever date somebody who's just always gloomy? No matter where you take them, birthday party, you take them to the Beyonce concert, they still look sad. Like, damn, I spent $600 for this Beyonce ticket. She said she couldn't wait till Beyonce came to town, and she's sitting over there like this, not even watching Beyonce. Why you ain't watching Beyonce? I thought she would be better than this. You see? Stay away from people like that, because they will affect your life with negative energy. That's why when you date people, the first question you should ask ain't whether he got a good job, whether she got too many kids. That's irrelevant. Are they happy and healthy? Because if they're not happy and healthy, all they want to do is dump all their toxic baggage on your footsteps. Y'all need to understand that. Because we have spiritual vampires in our community. You know what a spiritual vampire is? That's somebody who look like a person, but they're really a vampire. And they only come out at night. They be at the clubs, they be at the concerts when they get dark. Okay? But when you take their ass home, they start growing fangs and everything else, right? And you know what they do? They suck your life from you. You used to be an outgoing person. You used to be involved in the community. What's going on now? You don't want to go nowhere. Your friends come over, your house is all dark and shit, the lights is off, because you're dealing with an emotional vampire. And they sucking you dry. And some of y'all been in relationships like that. You're like, ever since I've been dating this man or this woman, I feel weak. I feel, because they are draining you. People drain. Now, I do therapy. So in therapy, I expect to get drained, right? Because people need that healing. But when you're in a relationship, and it's one way where they constantly draining you and you filling them up, but they never fill you up. Y'all know what I'm talking about? There's one way in this. I get all the emotional support, but I don't get none of it back. Get out that relationship. It's not healthy. And understand this. Psychologically unhappy people are very selfish, because they can't see past their own needs. If you're dealing with somebody with an addiction, you're dealing with somebody with low self-esteem, depression, anxiety, whatever the issue is, you got to be careful. Because those people cannot take care of you. They're too busy focused on what they ain't got. Do y'all see that? Mm-hmm. So if you're dating one of them relationships, I'm telling you, you better be in for it. Because guess what? In 5 years in a relationship, you're going to age like 40 years. You'll be walking around with a cane after 5 years. What happened? It's because you let that other person suck you dry. What's another one? Narcissistic personality disorder. And histrionic personality disorder. Narcissistic personality disorder is for men. Histrionic is for women. These are what I call God's gift to the world disorders. God's gift to the world. Ladies, you ever date a man who think that he was doing you a favor by being with you? A man who think that he was doing you a favor by being with you? He said, damn, that's every brother in church. Okay? Brother tell you, I don't want to hear no complaints. You better not complain about this relationship. You know how many women in Trenton I could be with? Do you realize that I was captain of the basketball team in high school? Have you seen the trophies in the high school gym? I did that. So you better count them down. Any woman in the city will want to be with me. Right? And then fellas, if you date a narcissistic woman, how do you know her? That's a woman who needs more attention than just yours. Your attention is never enough. When y'all go out, she got to dress a certain way. She got to walk a certain way. She needs all the men's attention in the room. Her husband's is not enough. Her man's is not enough. And she always dresses in such a provocative way that it almost embarrasses you to go out with her. You say, you got to wear that? Why the hell you got to wear them stilettos like that? You're going to a funeral. Why you Well, ladies, you got to check your wardrobe. And then she said, well, I can't help I look like this. What, you jealous I look like this? I can't help my hips. I can't help these breasts. This is how God made me. I tell you what, you don't like how I dress? You go in my closet and you find something. Problem with that is what? Every outfit is naked as hell. We just had a blizzard and you got on a mini skirt. Legs ashy from the snow and everything. Put some damn clothes on, please. Okay? So that's histrionic and narcissistic. Then we also have antisocial personality disorder. This tends to be men, but it can be women. People who don't like people. You ever date somebody who ain't want to be around nobody you knew? You can't take them nowhere. Can't take them to nobody's birthday party. Can't take them to a baby shower. They sit in the back, hat down like this the whole time. Can't take them to the family reunion. Your whole family can't stand them. Your grandmother go over there. How you doing, baby? You must be my granddaughter's boyfriend. You look kind of thirsty. Let me go get you some iced tea. Did I say I was thirsty? Do my lips look dry? Lips ashy as hell. Do my lips look dry? Antisocial. Who else we got? Obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Ladies, you got any OCD ladies in here? Fellas, you ever date a woman? You go over her house? You might even live with her. It might be your house. You pay the bills. But guess what? When you come home and take your shoes off, they got to go in the closet right now. Not when you're done. Now. You wash your hands. You know what you got to do? You got to take the paper and you got to wipe the extra water out of the sink because she don't want no drips in her sink. When you want to sit down on the couch, you got to sit on the good part and the plastic, and you got to sit straight up. You cannot lay on the back because it might dent it. So it's like this.
You talking about my mama right now.
Okay. Her house is like a prison, but you pay the mortgage. And she even got your kids acting like that. All the kids is OCD. This girl coming home, she crying, she got a 98 on the test instead of 100. Eyes all big because her mom's eyes all, look. You got to work with people like that. Fellas, we can be OCD. What are men tend to be OCD with, ladies? They're automobiles. How many guys you seen in Trenton, and I know because I've done my internship here, who wash the car every day, even when it didn't rain outside? You washed the car yesterday. Why are you washing your car again today? First of all, the wheels cost more than the damn car. Okay? Why don't you trade the wheels in and get a real damn car? He sleeps, he's still clicking the alarm on the car. And the only thing worse is the system in the car. You know the system works more than the car too. You get in there and you hit a button and the speakers come out and all this shit. And the car will work like $30. Right? He got surround sound, TVs in the back, wheels are spinning, and the car seats smell like this. Right? And then you go to the projects. He let her go to the projects. And then you turn the music up, and then you get outside the car, and you hang on the wall so all the poor people can see what a nice car I got. Negroes. I can't stand it. Okay? You can't even watch the TVs in the car. You can't even see them. You drive this way, and you got 4 TVs on. Your mother in the 14th Water Project, no air conditioning, 90 degrees outside, but yours is bumping with the windows down. And you's living on her couch. That don't make no sense. And some of y'all like them with the cars with no house. And you know what they do all day in Trenton? They just drive around the same block all day. When the gas run out, they fill it back up. Get them a Pepsi, drive some more. Stop talking about your boyfriend. Then we got who, y'all? Schizotypical. Y'all know who that is? You ever date a weirdo? Somebody who just seemed like they was kind of weird? How do y'all know the weirdos? They never blink. Just watch their eyes. It can be blowing outside, the wind, and they like this. Stone cold. You take them out to dinner, ladies, and you eating your salad, right? You eat your salad, you look at him, he's not eating your salad. You say, baby, why you not eating your salad? I just want to watch you eat yours. You're like, damn. Something ain't right about him, and he still ain't blink. You even wave in front of him to see if he blink, no blink. And then he shaved his eyebrows. First of all, you ain't got his eyebrows crazy. If you got your head shaved like that, don't date people with no eyebrows. Because the reason they shave their eyebrows is they want to see more of what's going on. Oh, my side hurt. But anyway, okay, and then you take him home with you, right, lady? So he finally, he's still a weirdo, but you say he can spend the night. You ain't give him a cookie, but you let him spend the night, right? So 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up, you roll over, because you know you're rolling over, and you don't feel him in your bed, but this is your house, not his. So you're looking around, you're peeking out your eye, and the bathroom light is off, kitchen light is off. So you're like, you're not walking, so where is this man? Right? And then all of a sudden, while you're laying in your bed, something saying, just look up. So you look up, and guess who's standing over your bed like this? And then you scared shit right now, right? Because you don't know what he got in his hands, because his hands behind his back. So you try to act like you still sleep, so you turn back over. And then your phone ringing, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, your phone ringing, you're like, shit. And then he says, aren't you going to take that? And so you go ahead and answer the phone, and you really ain't answering the phone. You're trying to slide over to the emergency dial. You know how you can flick it and dial 911 with one button? So you're trying to do that, and he said, so you're trying to call the police on me? You see, don't let weirdos in your house. Y'all gotta stop that because there's a lot of crazy people out here. You gotta remember, they didn't close down a lot of psychiatric hospitals. So the weirdos are walking the street. And the true sociopath can act very normal until they get you the way that they get you. And the other thing y'all gotta do is make sure you protect your private papers and stuff. Because now the new thing is people are dating you to do identity theft. So they come into your house, get your social security, your credit cards, your numbers, and the next thing you know, you got identity theft. And you fail to realize that nobody stole your identity until you start dating that new person. And now they robbing you and robbing everybody else in your family. Y'all better watch that. And ladies and gentlemen, you got stick-up artists out here who will date you and get you robbed. I know people this happened to, that's right. She dating you fellas, and the next thing you know, you done got robbed blindly like 2 weeks later. Because she's a stick-up girl. Anybody ever see the movie called Dirty Game? Yeah. Where the girls would date guys? That was a true story. They go around date guys and set them up to get robbed. That's real. And ladies, they do it to y'all too. Y'all got to be careful out here. Everybody not normal. That's why me, I ain't even dating no more. One other thing I needed to say, because I got to say this because this is becoming a big issue with black people. Because we pick this up from other people's culture. Self-stimulation. Women with toys, the bullet, right? They use the bullet. Stay away from that stuff. Let me tell you why. If you self-stimulate too much, you will not be able to have an orgasm the traditional way. If a woman is used to using toys to stimulate, your brain automatically reorients itself, so you will not climax with a man. You got to be careful. Men, if you like flogging a flacker too much,
get desensitized.
Like Jack. You heard my sister.
When a man like goes out and has another relationship, and he's in a relationship already, but the woman like she feels like she caters to all of his needs. She cooks for him. She asks him how his day was. She's freaky. You know, all of that stuff, but then he still go out, like, is there something, like, what's going on?
Well, number one, is it a situation where he's not a one-woman's man? That's one. Is it a situation where he's using her for some sort of need that she fulfills? It could be sexual, it could be financial, it could just be the comfort, it could be a place to stay. He could be leaving her on to make her think he really wants to be with her, when really she's just a temporary stop until he finds something better. That happens a lot. And it ain't fair because you should know up front that I'm not as serious with you as you think I might be, or as serious with you as you are with me. But the bottom line is, she ain't what he's looking for exclusively for whatever reason. The question is, how long is she going to put up with that? Because it sounds like in that situation that she's not even number one. It sounds like the other woman is number one and that she kind of got knocked down to number two. So it's time for her to leave. Because the respect been breached already. You follow me? Get the hell out of that situation.
Oh, it's not big.
Tell her to get out of that situation. Tell her to get out of that situation. I saw another hand. They said they got a question, but they don't want Shay putting the camera on. So Shay.
I keep them off the camera.
Go ahead, good sister.
So about polygamy, even though you broke it down and you made some points that I agree with, but with us having so many issues within ourselves and cheating and all these STDs, don't you feel that's sending the wrong message, like it's allowing men to cheat?
But polygamy is not cheap. Polygamy is as old as mankind. It's always been practiced by all races and all cultures in all parts of the world. Now, I do agree with you, but the reason why the conversation has to be had is because we already have polygamy. It's just disorganized, chaotic. It is anarchy right now. You already have men with multiple women. So do we ignore that and act like they ain't got multiple women? Do we ignore all the so-called illegitimate kids that they're making with the women on the side? Or do we put some type of regulation to this? See, for me, polygamy ain't about us as it is about the maintenance of the community and the children. First of all, in an African system, there's no such thing as a single parent. There should never be any such thing as a single parent. Because in our culture, we come from an extended family system where we don't have nuclear families. That's a white thing. Where you got a mother, a father, and 2 children. That's not us. Okay? We have a situation where the aunties and the uncles and the cousins, all of them make up the family. So it should never be a single parent because there should be about 20 of them. That's our culture. And even with polygamy, that's our culture. Now, I agree with you. It's not always practiced everywhere. As I said earlier, it is normally practiced with a specific goal in mind, which is to normalize the gender imbalance between the population of men and women. And then you do what? Stop. And you go back to monogamy exclusively. As I said earlier, there's no need for polygamy when you got enough men and enough women. But look at it. There's a war against black men in America. And we can't ignore that. Polygamy is a wartime strategy. Homosexuality, homicide, incarceration, crazy men, okay? You got all types of problems out here. So it's not realistic, I don't think it is, for women to think that you're going to marry a man and you're going to have that man to yourself and nobody else is going to share him. Because black women share. And you know what I found out? The main women who say they don't share be the biggest ones sharing. And I'm only saying that because I've seen situations where women will say, I would never share my man, and then you find out she's involved in a situation where he got 2 or 3 other chicks. You follow what I'm saying? So the bottom line is, if we don't do something about the fact that it's not enough of us to go around, what are black women going to do in terms of getting their needs met for partners and for children? Not even dealing with sex. I'm talking about marriage and childbirth. Every woman in here got a God-given right to have kids, and they got a God-given right to have a spouse, and they got a God-given right to be loved. Do they put that on hold until when? That's my issue. What is your answer to that? Because until y'all have an answer, women are going to share. And they share. And I think sisterhood is being eroded because the fact sisters are not dealing with the polygamy issue because black women just don't care about other black women the way that they should.
But I feel that's the issue.
Right.
The issue is the low self-standards and accepting that. But if we
But I don't think it's low standard because you're dealing with a situation that dictates plural marriage. You don't have enough men to go with the women. In some American cities, the black man, black female ratio is 1 to 18. Is it realistic? Where it is 1 to 18 or 1 to 12? First of all, we are the brothers who went to college. I'm saying you got to have an accountability system. In other words, if I'm married to you and I take a second wife, the whole community knows she's my second wife. The whole community. It ain't no secret. You ain't my wife in secret, but not in public. Everybody knows that that's my wife, that both of y'all belong to me, and that I'm off limits. That's why we need to have some sort of dating protocol in the black community. It should be so organized to date. If I wanted to date you, I should have to go talk to some elders. And the elders should have to approach you and say, yo, Dr. Umar interested in you. Are you single? You know, this is what he coming with. You know, 2 daughters, blah-blah. This is what you coming with. Do you want to get to know the brother? Boom. Well, we want you to know, and we want him to know that y'all ain't allowed to date nobody else while y'all dating each other. You see that? So if I mess up, I'm accountable to the whole community, not you. Because I'm just accountable to you. You can't do nothing to me. But they can. We need structure. If we want to talk about organizing ourselves, how you don't organize the family? And if you want to organize the family, you got to organize dating. Dating ain't organized in the black community. It is the wild, wild west. You can find her, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and never speak to her again. Is that the way y'all want it? I don't think so. I know polygamy is foreign, and I don't think we should go to it tomorrow. I agree with you. We cannot go to it tomorrow. Black men ain't even ready for it. But we got to start thinking about it and evolving for the sake of the children. See, here's the thing. Take a sister like you, the women in here. Y'all attractive, y'all gorgeous, y'all educated, y'all got jobs. You can say, I only want a man to myself. But why don't you speak for the sister with 6 kids living in the projects and ain't got a job? You telling me she would be against polygamy? No, she wouldn't, because she understands that that would actually help her case. From your perspective, it's not a problem. You can find a man and be with him, okay? But what about all the other women? Remember now, more than half of all the black homes in this city are run by single-parent mothers who are poor. Do y'all know most of our kids are growing up in poverty, being raised by women? You don't think that they need men to bail them out of that situation? And many of them will welcome it. In fact, what I find is not that sisters are against the polygamy. Sisters are afraid to say that they are for polygamy because they don't want to be ostracized and considered weak by other black women.